All right, welcome. We have volleyball associate head coach Lee Maes. Head coach Jesse Mahoney is at a soccer tournament in San Diego with his family this weekend. And we also have sophomore setter Jenna Ewert and redshirt sophomore Meegan Hart. So, Coach, we'll start with an opening statement from you.
Yes, I'm here substituting for Jesse. Jesse's with his kids in San Diego. Soccer takes up most of his time. I don't know about volleyball, though. But we're excited to get started. We start next week, August 9th. We've had a fantastic summer. If you've heard, we took our team to China, and we spent 10 days in China, have an opportunity to be immersed in an incredible culture and also playing great competition. It was also a wonderful opportunity for a lot of our incoming players to be acclimated to what we do from a system standpoint, from a culture standpoint, and also develop relationships this summer. And that's already a great way for us to be able to prepare for this upcoming season. We have 9 new players in our program, 9 incoming freshmen, as well as 2 transfers. We're excited about playing in, 3 weeks. We opened the season with Long Island, Brooklyn, Santa Barbara, and Wyoming, so it's going to be a really nice test for our team. We're going to be talented, but we're going to be quite young, and so with that in mind, we understand that we do have a talented group, but at the same time, efforts, attitude, and enthusiasm for learning, as well as being a great teammate, are going to be really the impetus for us to continue growing and improving and giving ourselves an opportunity to be successful as the season progresses. So we're looking forward to it. Our schedule is always difficult. We try to play a lot of the best teams in the country in preparation for the Pac-12. The first opening weekend's a really nice test for us. The second weekend is primarily going to be the Pac-12 Big Ten Challenge. We'll be playing at Iowa with Iowa, Illinois, and Washington. And then the third weekend we'll host our Colorado State Challenge. This year we're actually playing Colorado State back-to-back, home and away. And then we'll host also our fourth weekend. So we're excited about the upcoming season, and we're getting ready.
Lee, as you mentioned, a lot of new faces. You lost 2 seniors last year, or All-American candidates, and I think off the top of my head, only 2 seniors this year. Is this a team this year it's kind of a team in transition at all compared to what we've seen the last few years?
Yeah, we have actually 3 seniors this year, Rachel Whipple, Lily Clemmer, and Justine Spann. Certainly, Nagedi and Alexa and Gabby Carta were really positive contributors for us over the years. But the nice thing about the 3 seniors that we have is that they have a really nice grasp understanding of our culture, how we want to do things, and they're going to be really nice mentors to a lot of our younger players. I look at it from, if it's a transition standpoint, the biggest transition is for our players to understand what we need to do on a daily basis to get better. And we focus more on the process, and we feel like the results will take care of themselves. But it's going to be a long process. If you feel like we're trying to be able to do some of the things we did in the past, that is the past. We're going to focus more on the present and continue trying to teach and educate our new players to be able to play at the level that we'd like them to play.
With all of those newcomers and those new faces, how much of an advantage was it for you guys to be able to go to China earlier this summer and kind of get some extra prep and extra practice before the start of the season?
We feel it's a significant advantage. We were really fortunate to be able to have all of our incoming freshmen join us, as well as having our 2 transfers be eligible to play as well. It's a wonderful opportunity for them to get 6, 7 practices in where they don't have to be able to play catch-up when we start our season next week. all of our returning players did a really nice job embracing them, cultivating them, and being able to help them with what we do from a technical and a system standpoint.
Based on your China experience, what do you feel will change with regard to the way that you play your game? Are there some discernible differences that you learned from playing in that particular tournament?
Well, it's interesting because we were a little limited to the number of substitutions. We had play international rules versus collegiate rules here. And so that really allowed our players to understand that we have to continue improving our well-rounded game. In college volleyball, we have 12 substitutions, so it tends to be a little more specialized, whereas internationally, you have to be well-rounded in all aspects of your skills. And so that really allowed our players to understand that we have to continue our whole game versus being a little more specialized. And then, dealing with a little bit with some pressure and adversity when you're on the court and you don't have the type of subs that you have, you're going to get stressed a lot. And be able to understand how to deal with stress and continue being stressed is a really good way for them to understand that we're going to be playing the Pac-12, which is the best volleyball conference in the country from top to bottom. And you're going to be stressed every single night. And we want them to be able to embrace that and understand how to deal with that. And so that was, I think, one big thing that was taken from the China trip to this upcoming season.
Jenna, you guys lost your top two offensive weapons last season. How important was the China trip for you to get some chemistry with the new players, and how important is Justine Spann being a senior for you guys on offense?
We had Lex and Nageti last year, and coming in as a freshman, not just like offensively were they like really important, but they help like bring the team together and help freshmen feel a lot more like they like belonged. So I think like they helped me a lot. So I think their helping me is gonna like help me help the freshmen a lot more in China. I was able to bond with them a lot more. They felt more comfortable. You can tell they're still a little nervous. They're not as confident as they were coming out of like, top clubs in the country. Now you're coming in, you're the bottom of the pack, or you're bottom of like your team again. So they're still not as confident, but going to China and going through, like we went to a different country, different culture, we figured it out together. We experienced something amazing together, and I think that really helped us bond, and that also helped us bring it back onto the court. Like we had a couple games while we were over there, and just in those 3 games, you could see us get a little better each time as we spent more time together and experienced new things together. So as they get more comfortable, like even just in summer, in the past couple weeks, they've gotten a lot better, a lot more confident, and they're starting to come out, like their personalities are coming out more on the court. So I think that'll be really valuable to our team going forward.
How important is it for you guys to, with the loss of the 2 seniors, how important is that for you guys to develop some leadership and bring everybody along and teach the culture of Colorado volleyball for both of you guys?
I think it's really important, not just because of the loss of 2 seniors, but because we have so many new people coming in. So the integration of them is a lot more important because they all take up big pieces of our team. So it's not so much the loss of them. Yeah, they like Lex and Nageti and Carta played huge roles, but they've moved on, and I think it's time for people like Justine and old upperclassmen, people who play on the court, to then help the younger girls like fit in.
Oh yeah, so being new, the older girls and all the teammates, they've been super great with just my transition and everything. But I think like just everyone kind of taking that leadership, initiative, and just not being afraid to step up, since we do have a lot of new people and freshmen. I know it can be intimidating, but I think just everyone kind of stepping in and accepting their role and just not being afraid to be confident.
Preseason number 5, Pac-12 rating. How much added pressure does it add to you coming into the season?
Well, we don't spend a lot of time looking at rankings, ratings like that. We're going to focus more on just being the best we can be on a daily basis. Rankings all take care of themselves. They're all subjective. It's nice to be able to have expectations, certainly, but I don't think they're the same type of expectations that we have for our team within our program here. So again, we're excited to be able to play. We're excited to get going and be able to identify the things that we need to continue doing on a daily basis to get better. So that's more of our focus. We feel like the results and rankings and ratings will all take care of themselves based on if we stay and focus on the process.
You guys had a top 10 recruiting class this last year, and you have 4 top 100 players. You want to talk about some of those players and what they're going to bring to this program?
We're excited to welcome 9 new players. 7 of them are freshmen. Incredible class, incredibly talented class. They fill a lot of positions for us in terms of depth. We bring in a few pin hitters, in particular Jill Schnegenberger, Alyssa Alcantara, Kelly Lavaggi. And even Sterling Parker. They are very talented, really athletic, and they've come from backgrounds where they've had really competitive experiences at the junior club level. We also have Alexia Kuehl, a middle, and so, again, I mentioned Sterling Parker, who can play middle as well as at the pin. And then we also have some defensive specialists / liberos in Katie Lugier and Savannah Perry. And so we're so excited about just what they bring in terms of talent, who they are as people. I think they're going to be able to integrate extremely well with our culture. And the biggest thing for them is just to continue displaying the level of effort and attitude and enthusiasm so that we're going to be able to function well and compete well as a unit, as a group. There's going to be a big learning curve for them, but again, we have some really nice returners that are going to be able to help them through this process. So we're excited. We're extremely excited.
As a transfer from Iowa State, how excited are you to come now and play in the Pac-12 conference?
I'm so excited. Being in the Big 12 is cool, but Pac-12 has always been a dream of mine to play in. So having this opportunity has been great, and I'm just very, very excited.
Jenna, can you talk a little bit about how you feel going into year 2 and how that's different than as you came in as a freshman, and maybe what some of that experience that you had as a freshman you might be able to transfer to some of those of your big recruiting class coming in?
Yeah. Coming into year 2, I'm a lot more comfortable. I know the girls. I'm closer. I've played a year of collegiate volleyball. I have experienced the big gym, the big lights, the pressure. I think last year my hardest thing was the pressure that you're under. You don't really realize it because, when you play club, it's a lot more it's a little more wild. That's how I kind of experienced it. You just kind of are, if you're athletic, you do things that are kind of crazy and you get good and that's it. But when you come to college, it's a lot more, you have to tone it down. You have to do your job every single time. You can't, you can mess up, but there's a lot more pressure. There's a lot more riding on it. And so I think coming in, being a lot more comfortable, that'll help me, especially this year, just be a little more calm on the court. And I think having a calming presence from your setter or your outsides or the older girls in the team will help the freshmen a lot more to come on and realize that they can rely on their teammates and that, making a mistake is okay but you're still here to get better. And the learning curve is a lot larger in a game. You learn so much more in a game than you do in practice. So I just think it's really important for them to get in and just, dive in, swim. You got to figure it out.
For anybody up there, your men's basketball team is going to China in November. What kind of advice would you have for your fellow student athletes or staff members as they prepare for that cultural experience? And at the same time, what were some of your off-the-court takeaways from that trip?
from a staff standpoint, it's a great opportunity for everybody to be more of a closed environment, where you can develop those relationships that you're trying to, grow as you have new members that you're trying to introduce to your program, as well as trying to get returners to be able to embrace and cultivate new members. The great thing about being in an environment like China is that there's going to be a lot of uncomfortableness, and it's a great opportunity for them to be able to educate their athletes on how to be comfortable being uncomfortable with the culture, the language, the food. So I think that would be a really big takeaway for the staff.
That's about it. Just go in with an open mind, I guess.
All right, thank you.